What's going on, guys? Right now it's the first part of June. I shot a little video while I was out the last couple days. Just a couple highlights, lowlights, whatever. The way the weather is in the southeast right now, well, I'm in eastern North Carolina, but the way the weather's been, it's been excellent for fescue. So most of the fescue looks just fantastic. We're starting the second round of fungicides. I've seen a few minor issues in a couple of yards, and I've pointed them out in some video. Fungus wise, what we've been seeing all spring is a little bit of rust and some helminthosporium leaf spot, and I'm trying to show you some examples of both of those. And very little brown patch I'm seeing right now. The weather conditions just haven't been ideal to develop that right now. It's just been so cool, but we have gone through almost a week of rain and kind of overcast, cloudy conditions. So I expect we might see some more issues, especially on an untreated lawn, but we're talking about cool season grasses mainly in this right here. So just a little bit of brown patch I'm seeing out in the field. The helminthosporium leaf spot, not to be confused with the infamous deadly gray leaf spot. Gray leaf spot is devastating, and we'll when it gets a little later in the season, we'll get to some ideas, plans, and strategies on that. The preventative fungicide we'll try to use is a combination of 3 different modes of action, 3 different fungicides, like a combination of propiconazole, azoxystrobin, and thioethanic methyl for preventative. On the brown patch and the helminthosporium leaf spot and the rust that we're seeing now, round 1, we did a straight application of propiconazole. As we get into hotter weather, I don't like to do that because it can stun the grass pretty bad, and the propiconazole itself could be sort of hot and have a big growth regulator effect on the turf. But if you combine the low rate of propiconazole and the low rate of azoxystrobin, mix them together, it's not as phytotoxic on your grass. Or you could just use a product called Headway. There's many other combination products and more expensive products to use, but that is probably going to be your most typical and affordable line of prevention. Or you can make the straight azoxystrobin app. It's important to rotate modes of actions on fungicides. We've beat that to death. Not quite as much for brown patch. I think if you just sprayed azoxystrobin trying to prevent brown patch all season, I don't believe you'd run into any problems doing that. But some of these other diseases might mutate around it and get you. So gonna look out for that too. There's always something to get you. So we're gonna go out in the field. Well, I've already been out in the field, but I'm gonna plug the little tidbits and snippets I put in there. Going on, guys? I wasn't really planning on YouTubing today. I left my tripod thingy in the other truck, but spraying fungicides on fescue today. I did this neighborhood, the ones that I do in this neighborhood, at the end of last month, which was April. Some reason I skipped this one, can't tell you why, but anyway, we've got a few issues here and a few different things I'm going to show you so we can see if we can discern what's what, or if I can. Stay tuned. All right, this is what this particular yard's looking like in these spots. It's not bad, but it's not great. I'm seeing a few things. One of them
right off the bat is this yard has a lot of trivialis in it, and it's starting to check out, and that sometimes can be confused with some fungus. Let's show you some of that, like right over here. Some of these spots are just trivialis patches turning brown. See, there's a one in the deep shade there. See, that's trivialis, not fescue. So that's gonna look real pretty when that dies out. Got a few other things. I could probably find some better examples of this in here, but it's been really cool, and we had about 4 days of continuous leaf wetness. Some of what we're seeing in here might be a little bit of helminthosporium, a leaf spot, bipolaris is what you could call that, maybe. That one's even got a little fur going on it. I think this, I don't see very well, in case y'all are wondering. Nah, it's not. Let me find some better ones. A lot of this is rust. Get a little bit of that orangeness off on your hands, and you can kind of feel a little bit of spore on it. Like I say, we had a lot of rain, so it's probably washed some of this, the stuff that you can feel off. I mean, that you can, visually see. But seeing a lot of this around, and have all spraying along with the bipolaris or the helminthosporium leaf spot. Might be experiencing a combination here. But usually with the leaf spot, you'll see like kind of tan spots on the leaves, and as it gets worse, the grass just kind of melts out and dies. You can stop all these with headway, or at least prevent them or slow them down. Again, this isn't a raging case, but I was just looking at some now. Oh, here we go. This is what the helminthosporium leaf spot might look like, or bipolaris, or whatever the hell they're calling it now. But you can get this in cooler weather. I mean, I've even seen it in the winter time when it was above freezing. I need to get this stopped because this can be pretty damaging. This is not to be confused with the gray leaf spot. They need to rename some of these things. They need better names, like gray leaf spot needs to be called Mongolian death blight or something. I don't know. But this ain't nothing too serious. I'm gonna spray them out with the trusty permagreen. All right, we're in a neighbor's yard now. We haven't really had weather to be overly concerned with massive outbreaks of brown patch, but there's one right there. See, this area is kind of grayed and flattened out. You got hourglass lesion right in the middle of the grass blade there. So that's, this one got sprayed with a curative, but this kind of thin turf area here in the shade, I've got this backyard probably the better it's been in a while. Kind of pushing it with fertilizer. Seeing a little bit of action back here, but not much. Got headway in the tank and a little bit of liquid fertilizer. And I'm spreading a light rate of granular. The liquid's got some micronutrients and such. Now, I quit filming yesterday, but here we are again today. This one's okay. It's better than it's been in a while. It's a big boy. It's a few acres. It's full of trees and stuff, and the irrigation is really subpar here, so I don't do a whole lot. She's not on the PPC Gold Star Double Deuce Deluxe plan, but she gets pretty good taken care of. But here's some brown patch right here. I'm not so sure how good it shows up on camera, but there's a little stretch of it right here. Let me see if I can show you some lesions and such. So we really hadn't had the weather for severe outbreaks yet. Hold on, we'll get down here and find a lesion. These aren't super exceptional examples, but you kind of see where it gets that hourglass style pinch right in the middle of the blade. Little brown patch.
I mean, not a lot of need to put in video of awesome fescue yards because they all should look awesome right now, more or less. So I'll just, I did do a couple to send to my buddies to gloat, but here's a couple of them.
This fescue is so nasty, you boys might as well just give up.